Morning, I did a podcast on a police officer in NYPD back in 18. He was in Nashville, Tennessee. He was drunk. He kicked in the door of this Black woman's home, and her two young sons were in the house. And he proceeded to go into this racist rant in her house and use the N word a couple of times. Well, they did call the police, and before the police could show up, he left. So, ladies and gentlemen, this case got serious because when people first heard about it, first of all, this happened in 2018. We're just hearing about it now. Number two, this man broke into this house. And let me tell you something, that woman and her sons were in danger. Now, I want you to keep one thing in mind. They gave him 15 days in jail, which is a joke. Like I stated in my podcast, if any of us broke in a house and did what he did, you would have got years behind bars. He got 15 days, and it's because they insist on using kid gloves on these cops when they don't deserve it. He certainly didn't deserve that. He should have served the same kind of time that any felonious person would get breaking into a house. So this is a follow-up to that. This came out January 2nd, 2020. NYPD officer convicted in racist Nashville attack resigns amid backlash, police say. So what happened was when people in New York heard about this story of what this officer did, they start picketing the precinct that he was at and demanding that the New York Police Department fire him. So, NYPD officer who was convicted of a racist attack on a family while on a trip in Nashville has quit the force amid mounting public backlash, officials announced Thursday morning. Good. He should have been fired back in 2018 when it happened, according to Acting Deputy Commissioner for Public Information. All right. So his name is Michael Reynolds. So NYPD officer Michael Reynolds on December 30th. So he informed them that he was resigning. So, on the 2nd, he would have started disciplinary actions that were being brought against him. This kind of sucks, ladies and gentlemen, because we know what happens to these cops. They just go to another precinct, cross a county line, and they're back on the police force again. So he was supposed to begin some type of disciplinary action, but he decided to resign. And the NYPD put out a statement. He will receive no pension or health benefits, nor will he be allowed to carry a firearm. His actions were wholly inconsistent with the values and standards the New York City Police Department expects and demands of its officers. The statement concluded. Calls for Reynolds' firing had grown in recent days, with an online petition demanding the 26-year-old officer be fired, garnering over 12,000 signatures. Good. Well, I'm glad the people in New York took a stand on this one. Unfortunately, it's too many like him still on the force. Activists have also been calling for the dismissal of two other NYPD officers who allegedly tried to prevent the arrest of the officer who carried out the crime. It took place in July 2018 in Nashville, Tennessee. At 2:30 a.m., Reynolds kicked in the door of a home that was steps away from the Airbnb where he was staying at the time. A security camera at the home next door captured the racist and profanity laced language that Reynolds used as he burst into the home and threatened. Okay, her name was Kanisi Halliburton and her 4 sons. Okay, she had 4 sons. Try to shoot me, and I'll break every effing bone in your effing neck. Reynolds yelled. He also called the family effing niggers. Oh boy. Wow. Wow. Reynolds is white. Halliburton and her family are black. Reynolds plead no contest this past September to the charges of aggravated criminal trespassing and assault. The charges were reduced in a plea agreement that Reynolds had apparently thought might allow him to keep his job with the NYPD. Reynolds was sentenced last month to 15 days in jail and 3 years probation for the home invasion, which is a joke. Which is a joke. How many people are sitting in jail right now for doing a home invasion and they are not sitting in there for 15 days? But see, when it comes down to these cops, ladies and gentlemen, this is what they get. This is what they get. They always want to go light on these cops. But I'm glad this woman got a lawyer. At least she did do that much, for what happened. Wow. When you do something like that, victim Kanisi Halliburton said last fall at Reynolds' sentencing, and you can go to another state and you can commit a crime and you're a police officer. What are you doing in New York? The NYPD had previously placed Reynolds on modified duties as the disciplinary process moved forward. See, this thing could have played out many different ways, y'all. What if he would have bust that door in and they shot him? You know, I get sick of these stories. I really do. I really do. I hope she doesn't drop anything. She goes for a civil suit for what he did, because what he got, like I said before, was no punishment. This was not a punishment, y'all. 15 days behind bars and 3 years probation for a home invasion. No, that's not a punishment. But one thing I can say, I'm glad the people in New York did not let this go. And you went out to the police precinct and you picketed in front of them. You got signatures to get this cop fired. And he eventually folded and left. And that's thanks to the hard work of the activists and people who organized up there in New York. So they said there were 2 other cops that tried to prevent him from getting arrested. Those 2 cops, because they were obstructing justice, need to be fired too. So, if I happen to hear additional information about the other cops that tried to help this off-duty cop in Nashville, I will let you know. But I agree with the people in New York. They need to be fired too. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.